Hey everyone! Today we're checking out some high-gain tone models for Tonex and neural captures for the quad Cortex by Boutique Tones. And let's dive in straight away with the Tonex demo with two of the amplifiers that they offer. Check it out. Alright, that sounded pretty good. And note that there wasn't any post-processing applied to those tracks at all. So those were the raw tone models that you heard, with some minimal tweaks in the tone models themselves to make them suit my guitar and the pickups, but definitely not a lot. And the guitar that I used was my Schecter E1 Apocalypse Red Rain, one of my favorite guitars, with the Schecter USA Apocalypse pickup in the bridge. And I started with an engl Powerball 2 tone model, the G preset, and that sounded really nice, crunchy and tight and aggressive. And then halfway through the song, I switched to one of the Soldano Astro 20 models, the red C file to be precise, for a more rich and fat tone. And that also sounded really good. And both the amplifiers sounded pretty different. They both had their unique flavor going on, and they sounded a lot like real amplifiers. Now, what I did have to do to make these tones work with my guitar, and by the way, this is something that you usually have to do with Tonex, is adjust the input gain. And in my case, with the interface that I recorded with on my guitar and everything, I usually have to boost the input gain at around 8 decibels or so. So I did that to add a little bit more gain. And I also added a little bit of gain in the tone models themselves. And I also adjusted the EQ a little bit here and there, just to suit the mix and suit the guitar that I'm using at that moment. And that's one of the things that I like about Tonex and the neural captures as well, is that even though there's just one tone stack basically, adjusting the tone stack does sound really musical and natural. It can never mimic all the tone stacks of the different amps that you're modeling, but it does a great job. It's a great sort of general EQ. So even though you're getting sort of static images or snapshots of your amplifier, you can still tweak them to taste. So the folks from Boutique Tones asked me to check out some of their high-gain amplifiers, and I really enjoy doing these types of videos because usually I profile or capture or tone model my own amplifiers, and that's great, and that helps me to sort of get my amps into the digital world. However, it's always interesting to hear how other people dial in their amplifiers and stuff. It's just cool to experience, the ears of other people and to hear how they tweak the amplifiers to sound a certain way. But yeah, they sent me some cool boutique amplifiers to try out, and on their website, they sell IRs, Kemper models, tone models, neural DSP captures, and all that stuff. And there's a nice variety of amplifiers on there, clean amplifiers, crunch amplifiers, a lot of rare boutique stuff, and they also offer some bundles like the black bundle, which is basically a high gain bundle, so that's really exciting for someone like me. And basically what their capture packs are about is simplicity, and everything has basically been dialed into their taste so that it sounds great instantly, basically. So minimal tweaking is needed to get great results within a mix. So you don't get a lot of files and the packs aren't cluttered or anything like that. Most of the packs have like 10 or 8 to 12 tone models in them, with tones ranging from clean to broken up cleans to crunch tones and high gain stuff. And of course, my personal thing is high gain tones. As you know, I love high gain tones, but these packs definitely aren't just about that. Sure, all the packs feature some nice high gain tones, but there's a lot of other stuff in there as well in the lower gain registers and stuff. So I guess that makes the packs quite versatile and not just for people like me who like their high gain tones. If you're a jazz player, a blues player, a fusion player, a rock and roll player, you name it, these packs offer something for everybody, even the high gain amplifiers. So now I'm going to use some DI tracks that I recorded with my Gibson Les Paul Standard 60s with the Duncan JB in the bridge. And then I'm going to browse through some of the tone models from the amplifiers that I tried in the intro as well, just so you guys can get an idea of the range of tones that these packs have to offer. Okay, let's check it out. Now let's move over to the Neural DSP Quad Cortex captures that they offer. And let's try 2 amplifiers here as well. Take a listen. Great, so the guitar that I used was my ESP LTD EC1000T CTM, the slightly older model with the EMG 57 in it. It used to have an 81 and a 60 combo, but I swapped those out for the gold 57 and 66 set. And first you heard a Soldano SLO 100 capture, the H capture to be precise, for a thick high gain tone. And I did raise the treble a little bit there to open up the tone because the guitar that I'm using is a little bit on the dark side. And then halfway through the song, I switched to an MT15 capture, the PRS MT15, and I chose the HV capture for that. And that was a very different sound, a little bit more tight. And I also adjusted the gain a little bit there just to add some more saturation. So all the same things apply here in terms of the amount of captures that you get and the versatility and all that stuff. So it's cool how they keep that consistent across the platforms. But yeah, you can really dial in the capture block in the quad Cortex to taste. Again, just as with the Tonex. Need to add more gain? Add some gain. Need to add some clarity? Add some treble, etc. Now I'm going to grab my other ESP LTD EC1000T CTM, the one in vintage gold satin with the Will Adler Fishman pickups in it. And then I'm going to just play a couple of chords and some very simple riffs so you guys can hear the range of tones that this pack has to offer. Cool, so I've only scratched the surface of what those guys offer in terms of the amplifiers and the bundles and all that stuff, but I had a good time with the amplifiers that I chose to feature here. They also feature some amplifiers that are very different, you know, like clean amps and very boutique-y amps that aren't really made for rock and metal, so that's not really my thing. I really enjoy the high gain stuff, but I had a great time. Definitely check out their website for more information, and I'll put a link in the description below. I think in general the files sound really good and they are definitely mix ready. I did have to do some tweaking here and there to make them fit the mix and fit the guitar that I was using, but when is this ever not the case, right? I will say that in terms of the high gain tones, I wish there were a little bit more high gain tones on offer here for each amplifier, perhaps with a little bit more gain as well. But having said that, you can definitely get some great tones that with the included tone models, and if there's not enough gain, just raise the input gain or the gain control. It's that simple. So you just have to pick one that sounds good for you and then tweak a little bit from there, basically. But that's primarily for the high gain tones, in my opinion. And I think that it's a very versatile sound overall that they offer. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it useful. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as that really helps the channel out. And also let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on these tone models and captures. Of course, you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers!